The ribs were still sizzling when he said it. Beer in hand, eyes locked on me, voice loud enough to silence the music. Why are you even here? Connor, my wife's brother, former college linebacker turned regional sales manager. Ego built like his truck, oversized, loud, mostly empty. The crowd tensed. Laughter froze on lips. A few guests exchanged glances. I looked at him, then at my wife. She laughed. Not nervously, not awkwardly. She laughed. Head tilted back, shoulder bumping his like he'd just delivered the line of the night. And that's when I knew. It wasn't just a dig. It was an echo. Something they'd said before, maybe in whispers, maybe over drinks, but certainly behind my back. I didn't flinch. I didn't crack. I set down my plate, wiped my hands on the napkin, and walked to the mic. It was there for karaoke, backyard barbecue, birthday bash, family and friends, supposedly. I tapped the mic once. It squealed. All eyes turned. You want to know why I'm here? I said. The chatter stopped. Even the grill guy froze mid-flip. I'll tell you. But before I did, I scanned the crowd. I saw them. Connor's smug face, my wife Jenna's amused smirk, her sister biting her lip, my in-laws pretending not to look uncomfortable. And I saw something else. Their assumption that I'd either take it or walk away. They thought I was the same man I used to be, quiet, accommodating, endlessly tolerant. They didn't know I came prepared. Because I hadn't just shown up to this barbecue. I'd waited for it. 2 months ago, I found the emails. I wasn't looking. I was trying to print a hotel confirmation for our anniversary weekend. She left her inbox open. My name wasn't in it. But another man's was. Not one. Two. Different threads. Different cities. Same tone. One email from D said, "You looked incredible in that dress. Wish I'd gotten to take it off you instead." Another from N. Read, "Can't wait for you to visit your cousin again next month." My cousin. That's what she'd told me. I didn't confront her. I took screenshots. Saved them to an encrypted drive. Called my lawyer. Asked questions most men don't want to ask. Divorce law. Asset protection. Digital trails. Then I hired a PI. I wanted confirmation. I got it in 5 days. Photos. Dates. Hotel logs. She wasn't even subtle. Different men, same routines. But it wasn't the affairs that killed me. It was how normal she acted afterward. How she'd climb into our bed and ask what we should get her brother for his birthday. How she sat across from me at dinner and complained about work. As if her entire life wasn't a lie. So I built a plan. I pulled half our liquid savings quietly into a separate trust. I backed up all digital records, texts, emails, photos. I scheduled a private meeting with our accountant to ensure Jenna couldn't move funds from our shared business account. Because what they didn't know was this. The bakery she loved bragging about. The one with her name on the logo? I owned 80% of it. Legally. Quietly. I'd invested when no one else would. Jenna was the face. I was the wallet. But on paper, I held control. She didn't know I'd changed the operating agreement 6 months ago. Removed her power to sign contracts without board approval. Made myself the board. It was all just waiting. For the right moment. And now here it was. Served on a silver platter, barbecue sauce and all. I looked at Connor. "I'm here," I said into the mic. "Because this house is in my name." His smile twitched. I turned to the guests. "That bakery you all love? The one Jenna runs? It'll be under new management next week." Murmurs. Jenna stepped forward. "Daniel, what are you doing?" "I'm giving the people what they want." Truth. I pulled my phone from my pocket. 2 months ago, I discovered my wife has been having affairs. Plural. While I was funding her dreams, her lifestyle, her freedom. Gasps. One woman audibly whispered, "Jesus." She used my money, my loyalty, and my silence. Until now. I turned the phone toward the small outdoor screen connected to the karaoke setup. Tapped a button. Images filled the screen. Photos. Hotel bills. Timestamped texts. Faces blurred, but the content undeniable. Jenna's voice cracked. "Stop it. Not here." "You should have thought of that before laughing," I said coldly. "Before mocking the man paying for your party." Connor stepped forward. "All right, that's enough." I didn't even look at him. "Sit down, Connor. You're next." He froze. "Because it wasn't just Jenna I've been watching," I continued. "I found the Venmo logs. The credit card splits. The shell accounts. You weren't just borrowing money from the business." I stepped down from the mic, handed a sealed envelope to a man in a dark suit standing near the gate. "This is my attorney, Andrew." He's delivering formal notice. Jenna, we're done. The divorce is filed. The assets are frozen. You'll be receiving a full list of disclosures by Monday. Jenna's mouth opened. Nothing came out. And Connor, I said, pausing as he looked around for support that no longer existed. You'll be hearing from the DA. Silence. Not even the sizzle of the grill. I picked up my drink, nodded to the stunned guests, and walked out the gate. Not fast. Not angry. Just done. The silence after I left wasn't just awkward, it was radioactive. My phone didn't stop buzzing for hours. Jenna called 14 times. I didn't pick up. Her mother tried once. I blocked her. The rest were texts. Half pleas, half threats. I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I drove straight to the law office where my attorney, Andrew, had everything lined up. The documents were already filed. Divorce, business transition, criminal complaint, all time-stamped, all legal, all final. The next morning, I met with the bakery staff. Jenna wasn't invited. She showed up anyway, 20 minutes late, face puffy, still in the same clothes from the barbecue. She tried to act like nothing had changed, but when she reached for the office door, the new keycard system denied her access. I watched her from inside. She didn't scream, didn't cry, just stood there, realizing the ground had shifted under her feet. I opened the door, stepped out, and handed her a printed notice. You're no longer employed here. Effective immediately. The board has voted. There is no board, she hissed. There is now, I replied. Read the fine print. She skimmed the page. Her eyes widened. Daniel, you can't do this. I already did. She tried to push past me. I blocked her path without touching her. Calm. Controlled. You don't get to walk through doors you burned down, Jenna. That's not how this works. She looked at the staff inside, all watching. Half of them already knew. The others figured it out fast. Jenna stepped back, lips tight, trying to find a version of herself that could still command the room. But the illusion had cracked, and no one was looking at her the same way anymore. Please, she said, softer now. Can we talk? Privately? You had private. You chose public. She left without another word. That afternoon, Connor was arrested. Wire fraud. Embezzlement. It was all in the records I handed over. Months of him rerouting small amounts from the bakery's operating account to cover his personal debts. He thought no one would notice. He was right, until I started watching. When they cuffed him, he looked right at me. I didn't look away. I stayed in that office until sunset, finalizing the ownership transfer. A local investor group bought out the bakery's brand rights at a steep discount. I didn't care. I wasn't trying to profit. I was erasing my name from anything she ever touched. 2 days later, Jenna showed up at my apartment. I didn't let her in. She stood on the other side of the door, speaking through it like she still had leverage. This isn't you, she said. You're not cruel. No, I said. I'm just done being stupid. Is this about revenge? No. It's about correction. You broke things. I just made sure you couldn't walk away without the consequences. I left the door closed. She kept talking. Apologies. Justifications. Excuses dressed up like honesty. I didn't answer. Just waited until the silence took over. She left eventually. I didn't watch her go. That weekend, I got a call from her lawyer. A last-ditch negotiation effort. He offered partial asset returns in exchange for dropping the embezzlement charge against Connor. I told him it was never about the money. He asked what it was about then. I paused. It's about cleaning the slate, I said. Burning the rot. And never letting anyone mistake my silence for weakness again. He didn't call back. Monday morning, Jenna's name was removed from the bakery website. Her Instagram went dark. Her emails bounced. By Wednesday, she was trending, not for fashion, but for scandal. Anonymous leaks, curious journalists, whispers in every circle she once bragged about being part of. But I didn't leak anything. I didn't need to. When you build your brand on a lie, all it takes is one crack for the whole thing to cave in. That Friday, I hosted a dinner. Same backyard, same grill, same playlist. But this time, no Jenna, no Connor, just real friends. Old ones. The kind who never laughed when you were being insulted. As the steaks grilled and the laughter returned, genuine, clean, I realized something. It wasn't about revenge. It was about subtraction, cutting out the rot so something better could grow. A month passed. The headlines faded. Jenna's scandal was swallowed up by fresher gossip, and Connor's arraignment got postponed twice. But the damage was done. Neither one of them would recover publicly. And that's when I made my final move. I flew to Chicago quietly. No announcements. Just me, a duffel bag, and a signed agreement folded neatly in my coat pocket. There was one more piece to this story. A detail I hadn't told anyone, not even Andrew, my lawyer. 6 months before I discovered Jenna's affairs, I'd begun investing in a boutique hotel startup. A risky play. Most people thought I was throwing money into a fire. But the founder? Claire, she was different. Focused. Sharp. Brutally honest. She didn't need flattery. She needed precision. I gave her both. At first, it was just business. But over time, something shifted. Our calls stretched longer. Conversations moved beyond margins and forecasts. Then one night, during a trip to scout locations, she asked me a simple question over coffee. Are you happy? I lied. I told her I was. She nodded like she knew better and didn't press. That was 4 months before the barbecue. When I found out about Jenna's lies, I didn't reach out to Claire. I needed to finish my cleanup alone. I owed that to myself. But now the ashes were cold. The noise had settled, and I was finally free. Claire met me at a rooftop bar she'd told me about during our last call. Her smile wasn't surprised. It was something else, cautious, like someone who recognized a man finally walking his own road. I heard about the fallout, she said, sipping her drink. You okay? I am now, I said, and I came here to give you this. I slid the folder across the table. Inside was the final investment paperwork, full capital commitment, the kind that locked in future expansion for her brand, with one condition, that I would remain anonymous. She raised an eyebrow. No equity, no visibility, I said. Just clean hands. Quiet support. She studied me for a beat. Why? Because I don't want to own anything anymore that needs my name to survive. She nodded. And what do you want? I looked at her then. Really looked. Not like a broken man trying to fill a void, but like someone who'd walked through fire, let it do its work, and stepped out on the other side with nothing but clarity. I want peace, I said, and maybe a partner who doesn't mistake silence for weakness. She leaned back, considering. Then she smiled. That, I can work with. We didn't kiss. We didn't make promises. But as we sat there, the city stretching out below us, I realized something. I had been erased by people I once trusted, mocked by the family I helped support, betrayed by the woman I once planned my life around. But none of it broke me, because I didn't fight fire with fire. I fought it with strategy, restraint, and precision. Let them laugh. Let them underestimate. They always forget, the quiet ones. We don't snap. We calculate. And when we move, we end it. Clean. Quiet. Permanently.